afternoon already then. Okay, so I know I said I was not gonna do this game again, but I did. I debated a lot on the menu on what I was gonna play, and whereas I did debate playing a couple other games, I did decide to run with this one simply because I am also going to try to play my Pokemon games in the background. So if there's like a big chunk of time where you don't see me doing anything, I might have gotten a little bit too wrapped up in Pokemon. But I shouldn't stay in there too long. Right now, I'm just kind of level training. I'm doing black and white, and I thought I was doing good. I was pretty OP, I thought, throughout most of the region. Most of the gym leaders didn't stand a chance. Most trainers didn't stand a chance. Beat the rivals pretty easy. Got to the Pokemon League, and I got my candy ass whooped by I can't remember if it was Gensis or N that was whooping my ass so much, but one of them was kicking my ass over and 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 over. Yeah. It happened quite repeatedly. And so, although I did beat it with Pokemon White, I made the conclusion that the character I'm playing through as on Pokemon Black is going to level train a little bit more before trying to take on that challenge. Theoretically speaking, it should not take me too much longer to get to like an adequate level, because obviously I did mention that I did beat the Pokemon League with well, I guess not oh yeah, the league is applicable. That word is hard to say. Applicable. I'm also level training on White just because I've always done this thing where like I'm comparing, because my teams are different on both games. Team is like better by doing a battle after every like gym or whatever. I obviously have yet to do the one for the Pokemon League because my character for Black hasn't done that yet. But good news, Alien Crow will be joining us, hopefully through the party. I was trying to tell him, which I probably will state it when he gets on here, but I was trying to tell him to join the party so you could hear him speak rather than trying to read the comment section on the right side. But he might prefer to stay, comments only, in which case we'll roll with it. But he should be joining us, he said, in about 10 minutes. So we'll give him about 10 minutes. Like I said, I'm just kind of gonna run through my Pokemon teams real quick, just to fill in a little bit of time. The one that I've already beat the Pokemon League with is Emboar, Galvantula, Braviary, Seismitoad, Beartic, and Crocodile. And on my Pokemon Black team, which is still not fully evolved yet, I have Samurott, Gothiel, Drillbur, Volby, I'm pretty sure it's called Lantern, the middle evolution between Litwick and Chandelure, but I'm not entirely sure. And I'm looking right at it, but I gave all my Lampent. I was close. I gave them all nicknames, and let's see, Vanillish. I also have a Vanillish. Their nicknames. My Emboar is Endeavor, like from My Hero Academia. My Seismitoad is Kermit, like Kermit the Frog. My Beartic is Sub-Zero, as in like from Mortal Kombat. My Crocodile is Scurvy, like from the Donkey Kong cartoon. My Braviary is called Raffaretto or something like that, which I'm not entirely sure why I named it that. Most of these I gave names for a reason, but I can't, it's not coming to me why I named it Raffaretto. Also we have Peter, which is my Galvantula, and then on the other game, oh, by the way, Peter is Peter Parker. And then you've got Moto Chica as my Samurai, which is named after the character from Pokemon. What's it called? Pokemon Conquest, who's also named after that and based off of the characters from Samurai Warriors. And then I've got Tharja, which is my Gothiel. My Volby is Vulture, which I probably could have came up with a better name, but yeah. My Drillbur is called Bill Murray, like Groundhog Day. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know who Tharja is, it's from Fire Emblem. My Vanillish is Frosty, like Frosty the Snowman. And then my Lampant is Alicia K, but being 100% with you, I don't know what that means. I named the Pokemon a while back, so funny enough, I have a Pokemon on each one that I don't know. Like, you know, where the name origin is. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna hop into the development mode once I get my Pokemon switched around. That is the thing that kind of sucks about the older games, is like in the newer games you don't really have to worry about switching your Pokemon around as much, because like all your Pokemon will get experience points from just being part of your team. But like in the old Pokemon games, that was not a luxury. You had to go and like, if you wanted a Pokemon that is not on your team to get experience. Oh, there he is. Sorry, I was taking care of some Pokemon stuff while I was waiting on you. So after I beat that boss, which I texted you and told you about, I did unlock a couple more characters. I got Akane Awari. Nagisa Shingetsu. Monica Toa. Himiko Yumino. Maki Harukawa. But still no Leon. Where's my Ginger? Come on, people. I forgot I was already in there. Also, I know it's not really your job to like remind me about shit like this, but remind me I have to do a replay of Komaru, because I did her N rank one, but now I have an R rank Komaru, which is stronger, so I have, you know, I'd prefer to level that one up now. See, who am I gonna play through as? Oh yeah, I already decided this. Mikan Sumiki. Let's see, what can I give her for items? A 40% discount? Okay. Dodge treasure chest traps. So, I was right. Those traps I seen earlier, they are in fact traps. They do not do anything good. Those two just make the most sense, in my opinion. Meekin being a defensive character, because she's known for taking a whole bunch of pain, so it just makes sense. Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn up the speed. Ah! It kind of looks to me like Meekin still self-heals too, and if that's the case, then right on, cause I kind of need that. Ooh, Byakuya, or the fat Byakuya. Although I was gonna say I'm probably about to die. Oh, thank you, Meekin, for surviving that. I don't know how you did, but you did. By the way, just so you are aware, Sir Alien Crow Gaming and more, I did leave the party chat open, just in case you want to tune in and like talk instead of comment. That would be my preference, but like, I don't know. I'm just weird. I like hearing the sound of my own voice sometimes, so. But you know, you're not comfortable with it. You know, you do you. Now, what am I gonna do? Well, okay, I already know what I'm gonna do for Meekin. She is definitely a healer. Chihiro Fujisaki is. Okay, and like, remember what I said in the last stream. I don't know what causes stuff to be doubled, but there we go. Her stuff was doubled. Huh, I thought I left that party open. I did. I did leave it open.
Yeah, for some reason it wouldn't let me rejoin it.
Huh.
So long, farewell.
So long, farewell.
Yeah, I just realized I can't watch the stream and talk to you at the same time. Ooh, okay. So if I do that, then I'm hearing myself multiple times.
Well, turn it down on your phone.
Well, Mom wanted to watch, so we're watching it on the TV.
Ah, okay.
Oh. Alright.
Hi.
He said hi.
Hi with a GH.
They asked if you were excited for the Tennessee trip.
I am, but I haven't talked to my boss about it yet because he's been in a crabby ass mood because people keep calling off. And I have to work up the courage to tell him I'm about to be one of those people.
Okay. His boss is in a... Here, I'll do this. I'm gonna resume the stream. And I'm going to... Okay, go ahead and explain.
Okay, so my boss Kyle is like really freaked out right now because...
Hang on. I just realized they're not able to hear you through my headphones. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, yeah, here. Go ahead.
Are we sure this time? My boss Kyle, he's a bit of a worrywart when it comes to like people calling off. He still thinks that I'm like my brother because my brother started up there and like he worked one day and quit, and so he don't trust me with anything. He's very like prejudiced against me, and now we've had a bunch of people calling off, so he's been in a real irritable mood. So I have yet to tell him that like I'm about to be one of those people that calls off, but I'm gonna call off in advance, like hopefully with enough advance if I can catch him in a decent enough mood. But trying to catch Kyle in a good mood is about like trying to catch a leprechaun without gold.
You have got making fun, and the fun remember some of that fun, and then you put the note on top of the box. I need this weekend off. Sorry, but you're still going to give me plenty notice.
We can move the weekend.
Yeah, I can move the weekend. That's not a problem. So if we need to make it like 2 weekends or 3 weekends before, we can do that.
We still don't know where we're going.
I'm still waiting on tax.
I need to do my taxes and be a good American. I I have it.
He says he needs to do his taxes, be a good American, he just hasn't.
I didn't want to do mine, but I had to do it, and I'm like, I didn't come back.
Yeah, also, don't unplug your headphones while you're streaming in a party chat. It doubles the voice.
Huh.
It was quite difficult.
Did not know that, but thank you for telling me.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the phone for the stream. Like if ever there's something you need to show me, let me know. I'll hop on the stream on my phone. That way it doesn't do the double voice.
Yeah, okay. For the most part, there's not too much that's I'm gonna be showing. I picked this as the game to like play in the background because one, I was doing it earlier, and two, I kind of like looked at the game options I had, and I started going into WWE, and I was gonna play that, but I forgot how much the game crashes, and I'm pretty sure that'll stop the stream.
Yeah, I would. Once the game, if you close an application like the actual game, it will automatically end stream.
Yeah, so I thought it would be better to not do wrestling, at least not until I get the 2024.
Right. My dad's watching some sort of random stuff on his phone. Oh.
That's everybody nowadays. Well, do you want to join me for a silent walk downstairs? I have to go grab something.
Sure.
I left Miss Mary behind.
What?
I said I left Miss Mary behind.
Miss Mary?
As in Jane.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna play some Soul Calibur.
I miss Soul Calibur.
I know. Ooh, that might be a good game to actually stream. Spyro Reignited. You know, some classic.
It's Roman Reigns.
What about Roman Reigns?
I just walked downstairs and Roman Reigns is on TV. It's actually Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and the wise man Paul Heyman.
Remember when Tim the Tap Man did a freaking commercial with them?
Honestly, the wrestling commercials are getting pretty funny.
Oh yeah, they have fun with them. I'm trying to think what to drink.
Have you ever seen the one with Drew McIntyre for cricket?
Yes.
That one was amazing.
Yeah, I love how like every. I already did. There's 2 in here already.
It's like me in the ring, but 5 times more powerful. And super sonic jets strapped to my legs. That's enough 5G for today.
5G.
Yeah, for cricket.
Oh yeah.
The Miz did one kind of similar, but it wasn't as funny.
Right.
His was... Drew McIntyre's was 5 times more powerful, but with supersonic jets strapped to my legs. The Miz was just... it's like me in the ring, but 5 times more awesome. Because that's always been the Miz's thing, is awesome.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about the Miz's was like afterwards, it showed him playing with the toys, and he was putting absolute soul into this. Just watching the Miz like play around with some wrestling toys for like 30 seconds was priceless.
Yeah.
Or the Snickers commercial with Big E, where he's standing there and he's trying to decide what he wants, but it's an entire vending machine full of Snickers bars. Sometimes I get too much into wrestling.
Yeah, but it's definitely interesting to like learn about. Like I'm not educated on WWE stuff. My dad's probably. What, Pop? Oh, he's just talking about normal not WWE stuff. I'm like, yeah, my dad's a WWE person. You want to talk about WWE? Message my dad. What? Oh, tonight's SmackDown stuff. I don't know nothing about either. What was the guy? Who's the guy you were talking about earlier? What's his name? All of a sudden, I can't remember.
Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins.
Not Roman Reigns. The one who got screwed over.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
That is probably the biggest screw job in WWE history.
Yeah, my dad knows a lot about WWE stuff to a point.
Man, if your dad's as big as a fan as I am, which I feel like he is, ask him about the match between Undertaker and Mankind. Any wrestling fan can talk about that match for hours.
Okay. Hey Pops, what's your thoughts on the wrestling match between Undertaker and Mankind?
Hell in a Cell. Make sure you state that.
The Hell in a Cell. Okay. What's interesting about it? Because I know nothing about it. Tyler said. Mm-hmm.
And Undertaker throws Mankind off the cage through the table.
Okay.
You think that would have ended the match, it would have been like half dead.
Right.
gets back up, climbs back to the top of the cage. Get out, and then Undertaker's character slams people. He gets to the top of the cage, and the top of the cage breaks apart, and he falls through onto the ring, mat, and he busted his tooth, which was his lip, busted his tooth out. He had his tooth was hanging in his lip.
It was his nose.
It was his nose.
Yeah, his tooth was hanging out of his nose.
Yeah, his tooth was apparently sticking out of his nose with tire.
And he was pretty messed up. That's pretty much. Mankind was barely lost.
Damn.
Yeah, it was the thing today or whatever. I think it was earlier today saying about how, the difference between that and back then, today's wrestlers should never go through that much. So.
Alright.
Yeah, that match was insane. Mankind probably died several times during that match. And what a lot of people don't know about it is that the Undertaker went in there with a broken leg.
Apparently what a lot of people don't know is Undertaker went in with a broken leg.
He didn't even want to get on top of the top of the cell. That wasn't the plan. It was a spur of the moment thing that Mankind came up with. He got on top of the cage and he's like, "Hey, let's get up here and make a show of it." And the Undertaker, you know, broken leg and all, he's like, "Alright." They climbed up there and they started, you know, going at it up there, and he eventually told, like, Mankind, "We need to get down." Mankind's like, "Nah, no, throw me off the side. It'll be great. It'll be great." So he threw him off the side, tooth hanging out his nose. They started wheeling him out of there. Everybody thought that was match over right there. He's done. He shoots up off of that medical table like, you know, something right out of a possession movie, and just runs straight back on there, climbs right back on the cage and starts going back at it with the Undertaker.
Jesus.
Then the Undertaker, you know, tells them again, like, "Hey, let's stop this. It's been a good show. You did what you set out to do." Cactus Jack being him, no, slam me through the cage, slam me through the cage. And Undertaker, he didn't want to slam him through the cage. He meant to slam him on the cage, but he did end up going through it. And he slammed down on the bottom. And the Undertaker hopped down there again, thought it was match over because he wasn't moving a whole bunch. He shoots up, and because he's got multiple gimmicks, Mankind, he's also known as Dude Love and Cactus Jack. Well, something he does when he's Cactus Jack a lot is he'll pull out this bag of tacks and he'll dump it all over the ring. And I don't know if it was because he lost himself for a moment and forgot like which character he was doing, or if it was just like, you know, he was willing to do anything in the match, but he pulled out the tacks and he dumped them all over the ring. And the Undertaker slammed him head first onto the tacks, and he still got back up and wanted to fight.
So Mankind wasn't the person to fuck with, apparently.
Mankind was like the Walking Dead. There's never been a wrestler like him since.
Yeah. Cactus Jack, yeah. Tyler's talking about the tacks and getting slammed head first into him. Damn.
There's only one wrestler, modern day wrestler, who's willing to take the risk that Cactus Jack is, and he's not allowed to go, you know, full on as Cactus Jack did, but he is allowed to do stuff like put tacks in the ring and broken glass and all that. His name's John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose.
Okay. So Dean Ambrose is probably the closest we're gonna get to another Mankind.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose is. What do they call him? Lunatic Fringe.
Yeah, the lunatic.
Yep.
Isn't he from like Ohio?
I think so.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So it's the sexy.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
She's the top superstar. I can't get enough of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people can't get enough of Alexa Bliss. But not. Nice. Cool. I need a whole pot. Sorry, Mom, show the pot.
I'd say Alexa Bliss ain't gonna return to in-ring action though.
Really?
Yeah, she had a story going where she went face for a while, and then all of a sudden, when Bray Wyatt was rehired at WWE, suddenly she started attacking Bianca Belair and whatnot. They was working on rebuilding the Wyatt family, I think, because it was any time that she saw like a firefly, as when she went like heel, and then she just went off screen for a while, and I couldn't figure out why it was. And they kind of duped me because she appeared on The Masked Singer, and I was like, okay, that's what it was. She was on The Masked Singer, now she's gonna come back in ring. And then she announced that she was having a baby, and she wasn't coming back for a while, if at all. And it's been quite some time. Now Bray Wyatt's dead, that storyline's gone, and she's not made one single retort about coming back.
Right.
It happens though, especially in the women's division. Once you have a child, it becomes a lot harder. Now, becoming a parent doesn't automatically mean that like you're out. Like Candice LeRae is a mom and she still comes in and does it. Becky Lynch is a mom and she still comes in and does it. But like a good majority of moms do end up quitting WWE for one reason or another. Ronda Rousey quit WWE because she's a mom. The Bella sisters, one of them quit because she became a mom. The other one quit to get married.
Right. Sorry, Mom and Dad are talking to each other in the background.
No, that's okay.
Trying to think what character to do next on Soul Calibur. I'm thinking about doing the Hilda build, build, which is the spear and the sword.
Nice.
Trying to think who to build though, like a person.
You said a spear and sword?
Yeah, it's Hilda. Remember the redhead chick with the...
Yeah, I was just making sure I got it right. For some reason, it registered as sword and shield in my head, but I was like, that's not it.
Yeah, there's two of those. You have Sophia and Cassandra.
You know, you kind of got me there. I don't think I have any characters that use both the sword and the spear. Well, not at the same time.
Yeah.
Melty could, but I haven't like actually written her to do so yet.
Yeah. I mean, I could just build like a basic character around the weapon. It's like most of my characters are like based on just different characters I've seen. Like, remember Kit and Tommy?
Yeah.
I made characters based on them, and they're based on Shanghua and Taki, which is the little Chinese, like, super fast sword,
Mm-hmm.
and the dual daggers. I gave them a canonical mom in terms of character, and her name is Amaterasu, and she uses a Naginata, aka Sangina. Kendra saw I played it once, so I have Kendra's character, and she got 2B. I don't really use that character. If you ever played the like old 8-bit top-down anime horror called Ib?
No, I try not to play a whole lot of horror games.
Well, I made Ib because I actually found that one specific horror game actually kind of funny. Even though, yeah, it's horror, I shouldn't find it funny, but I found it funny for some reason.
Well,
But,
you could technically count Danganronpa as a horror game because there's like murder and stuff in it. And I have played all 3 of those.
yeah, I've
But-
played the third one, of course. Partially.
In my opinion, they're all good, but I like the second one better because, like,
It was all fake, right?
well, that, but ultimately, like, the cast, you looked at all 16 of these people and you were like, okay, none of these guys are the culprit, like the actual mastermind. And the funny thing is, if you did that like I did, you were actually correct. It is the only Danganronpa game where there's not an ultimate mastermind. Technically, the quote-unquote mastermind is the computer program itself,
Right.
which you fight in the form of Junko Enoshima, which is a bit cheesy, but
Fair enough.
it's also the game with the most survivors at the end.
Right. I remember you told me about Danganronpa 2 a bit before, and it definitely seems like one of the ones I would play if I had to play one.
The big thing that is like, so with the first trial, like if you're like me, you didn't get too attached to the Ultimate Imposter or Teru, so like when they died, it was just kind of bleh, we don't really care. And the second trial, Mahiru was a kind of like boring, not developed character, and Peko Yama was, she had the potential to be good, but she was badly written. So again, when they died, it was, you know, kind of like, okay, you know, good for you. A good majority of like the core likable cast was still alive up until the third trial. And then 2 of my personal favorites died. Mikan Sumiki and Ibiki Miyota. Hayako Sayonji also died, but I mean, she's not, a lot of people would have actually preferred to see her die.
She was a bit of a bitch.
Well, yeah, because she spends the entire game like being mean and hateful to Mikan Sumiki, and then she never really goes through much character development. She goes through slight like remorse for being mean after Mahiru dies, but it doesn't last long. So like, for the most part, up until the third trial, the game it still manages to be kind of lighthearted and likable. And then you go on to like, you know, the third trial where it was just kind of bullshit. And then the fourth one was just sad. Because what happened was like, at this point, the characters are all too kind-hearted to have an actual like motive for murder. So Monokuma locks him in a house for like I think a little over 2 weeks with no food. And it comes down to, like, in order to not starve to death, Gundam Tanaka and Nekomaru Nidai come to a mutual agreement that they was going to fight to the death and both give it their all. No hard feelings on who came out, but they both already knew it was going to be a death warrant because whoever came out on top would be executed afterwards.
Right.
However, it would allow everybody else to eat. And so it was kind of the ultimate sacrifice on both of their behalves, and it was really, really sad. And then the fifth one was just kind of it was the kind of thing only Nagito could pull off. So he was the guy who died, but he was, in a way, like, he orchestrated his own death. What he did was he tied himself to the ground, all but one hand. That the hand that wasn't tied to the ground was holding a rope with a spear hanging above him. And when he dropped, obviously, when he let go of the rope, the spear was supposed to fall down and impale him. How he made it to where it was someone else's fault that he died was he also started a fire. Started a fire, and he knew that people would try to put out the fire. And in the containers, one of them had poison, but only one of them. And that meant whoever threw the container with the poison would be the killer, because it was what was going to make Nagito sick enough to drop the spear. He did that to call out Chiaki Nanami for being an imposter. He just couldn't prove it without doing that. And you might wonder, how does that prove anything? That was just luck. Well, you gotta think, Nagito Komaeda's whole shtick is luck. He basically knew, like, alright, whoever throws that canister is whoever I'm looking for. But that one was just kind of intense, because it was like, how do you find out a killer that is completely luck-based?
Right.
Because even the killer at that point would not know who the killer is. Because all they did was throw in their canisters that they throw in, they explode, and they release, like, fire extinguisher foam. Only one of them had poison in it. So, like, they wouldn't have known that the canister that they was throwing had poison. And that's, like, up until the third trial. It's a pretty lighthearted game, and it manages to keep the core characters, like, alive. Whereas in the first Danganronpa game, Makuro Ikusaba, who's posing as Junko Enoshima, dies without there being any sort of murder or trial. Monokuma just kind of kills her on the spot. Just to prove, like, hey, I can do that. Which, I get why the game did it, to, like, show, hey, people can die at any point here. But it seemed like a waste, especially considering that there was only 15 students instead of 16. And then Makuro getting killed, like, just blatantly, that took it down to 14. And then a lot of my favorite characters ended up getting murked really early on. Leon Kawada, Mondo Iwata, Chihiro Fujisaki, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, Celestia Ludenberg.
Isn't Ludenberg the one who was obsessed with, was it Shepard or was it my other character?
No, Celestia Ludenberg is the ultimate gambler. She's got...
Who am I thinking? The one who's like a warrior, soldier, like medieval.
A warrior, soldier, medieval type. Well, Makuro Ikusaba is a soldier. She's got like guns and grenades and all that. But
like I remember the only way that she wanted the character, my character, or whichever character it was, to go with her to fight like some sort of creature.
oh, okay, you're talking about Sonya Nevermind, the Makango. Okay, so that it's interesting. Sonya Nevermind is a character from Danganronpa 2 who never dies, and she's never a killer. And if you do like her romance path thing, she'll mention this thing called a Makango, which apparently is an animal in her country that I can't remember if you have to defeat it or capture it. But either way, you gotta go out and seek this creature out if you want to marry her. It's a custom in her land. And if you play this game, you get to find out a lot more. I guess they have like a lot of customs for that thing.
Huh.
There's a bunch of characters that like, I don't know, I feel like should have survived.
Yeah, I mean there's an entire series on YouTube on how every character could have survived.
Yeah, I've been tempted to watch that video actually. I know that I've seen that somebody like rewrote Danganronpa V3 because they was not satisfied with a lot of things. First of all, Kaede's death was bullshit.
Yeah.
And they fixed that problem.
Because here's another thing with Kaede's death. Monokuma even himself says that if you guess wrong,
that everybody dies.
Well, we know it actually wasn't Kaede, it was...
Sumigi.
I forget. Yeah. So it's like...
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that Danganronpa V3 is hated, because they broke a core rule. Monokuma is not allowed to execute somebody who is innocent. It just doesn't work. He tried, actually, in the first game, and the execution shut down on him. Yeah, if you have to trigger it just right, but if Makoto Naegi tries to take the fall for Kyoko Kirigiri, then his execution will shut down because he's innocent. Which, funny enough, that's actually what you have to do to get the true ending of the game. If you let Kyoko die for killing, then she, you know... I guess technically she doesn't kill anyone either. The body was already dead, but she did try to kill a dead body.
Right. What? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, they fixed that because
That's good.
in the rewrite, because Sumugi was guilty for killing Rantaru, she was the one that got executed because Shuichi was able to piece together that it couldn't have been Kaede. Kaede thought it was her, but Shuichi was able to prove otherwise. They also fixed a couple problems, like I don't know how they managed to pull it off, but 8 characters survive rather than just 3.
Popcorn. Yeah. Okay. Yep, give me a second.
Miu Iruma is one of them, and I believe Angie and Naga. As far as I know, Tenko still dies. Sadly, and I can't believe that they didn't fix that in the rewrite because, man, it was soul crushing, but Gonta still dies.
Why do they always kill Gonta? The dude's like the most famously nice dude.
I don't understand because Gonta Gokuhara is by far like the most beloved character in Danganronpa. If you look at the poll, like he shoots up massive. There's nobody that tops him.
Everyone loves Gonta.
Gonta just wants to be gentleman.
Yeah.
It's just hard not to love the guy. And that when I figured out that he didn't live in the rewrite, when 8 characters survive, are you kidding me?
Right.
You look Irish. Your little fine.
Mom, stop. I haven't even touched to change the character up yet. I'm just getting armor. That's the default look.
I know, but I'm saying you look 5 to 12-year-old.
Yeah, I know. That's the default look.
But his body is like that of a man.
Yeah, that's the default human. For some reason.
Don't you get shitty.
I'm not.
One word.
No, I'm not.
Oh, by the way, I realized I never did get your official confirmation on that. Did you ever decide on like whether anyone actually stuck out to you in that cast list? I know Peter probably did because I intentionally made him me.
Oh, on the total drama one?
Yeah.
I can never figure it out because I don't know much about total drama. So it's like hard for me to even decide.
Well, I've kind of got it mapped out on like what everybody's role is throughout the season because everybody's kind of got like a role. Like, you know, it's obvious that you're the quote-unquote main character. And then, you know, like, my character supported Buddy, and it's just, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
I'm trying to pull up the document so I can give you the rundown on what everybody's role is. Alright. So, Maki's the early vote, the Japanese girl that's really enthusiastic. She doesn't have like much character, so I kind of went and made her the early off vote. Billy, the sick, weak kid, he's second because like in an environment like Total Drama, he just doesn't stand a chance.
Right.
Rex is third simply because like although he does have a bit of character, he's a bit bland compared to everybody else. Rita is kind of just there to help like develop people. A lot of these like early on eliminations are just basic people that you're not really supposed to get attached to.
Right.
The first, like, elimination of someone that, in my opinion, kind of like would matter, I would believe anyway, based on what I would know of you. You would probably like, crap, I lost my train of thought. Dominic, the dark literature writer, because she's a little bit like Kendra, but I toned her down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a toned down Kendra, so it's actually able to tolerate.
So, but she's the 11th elimination, and her role is kind of, you know, she's a really good friend too throughout the series. Even though she seems a bit reluctant to be your friend, she's never really failed to be there for you either. The next one that would kind of matter is right after her, and that's Levy, because Levy's like the heart of gold character. A lot of characters have like at least a slight bit of corruptibility to them, but Levy is like just the guy there who's there to support everybody. But his elimination is just so sad, because he spends the whole time like trying to you know, be there for his friend Sasha, because they were friends before the show, and she's the one that convinced him to come on. But if you read his like little thing, he gave up his depression and anxiety meds before coming on the show, and the whole time she's more or less treating him like a tool instead of a friend, and it starts wearing on him little bit by little bit by little bit. And then he's told that, you know, basically she was saving him just for a vote. You know, that's all he was there for. And when he ran out of uses, he was going to be eliminated. When he heard that, he eliminated himself.
That's fucked up.
Which Sasha was not actually saving him to like eliminate him later, but they weren't wrong in the fact that she was kind of using him as a vote, because she was his friend and she knew he would vote for her. And then PT, he's the guy who like wants to be your friend, but he's a little bit too pushy, so he's never really quite there. But the whole season, this guy tries like heck to be your friend, tries to be everybody's friend, but he's a little annoying, so everybody doesn't really take him serious. And he's eliminated after, again, because it's a total drama show, he's betrayed when he finally thinks he made a friend. And Sasha, who more or less kind of embraced like the dark side after Levy was eliminated, she used PT, and when he ran out of usefulness, which was pretty quickly, he got eliminated. And then she kind of started like focusing more on like your friend group. Me, Peter, I was the first one out. I was 14. It came down to me or Farley, because I kind of fucked up in the challenge, but not because of anything of my doing. Sasha sabotaged me, and she sabotaged Farley too. That way it would put a target on our backs, and when everybody blamed me and Farley at the end, my character took it pretty hard. You know how I am, like, at taking loss. But Farley kind of like, you know, cheered me up, like, hey man, we're both losers, and no matter which of us go home, we're still bros. And I was the one that ended up going home. And then they went after Zelina, because Zelina started calling out Sasha for, you know, every time someone seems to like try to want to be her friend, they end up mysteriously getting eliminated. and she was worried that Zelina was going to expose her. She didn't get the votes to eliminate Zelina, so she actually cheated. She switched the votes herself and made it to where there was enough votes to get Zelina out. And then they brought back a character named Zayd who sided with her, and that kind of like set the alliance balance at like, you know, okay, now it's kind of even in the fact that like Sasha doesn't have everybody against her. And then the next one that goes out is the girl that I was flirting with, the army girl, Bullet. Which she goes out on her own merit, not because she eliminated herself, but she threw a challenge simply so Sasha would lose. In spite, because she knew that it was the reason I got eliminated. So it was more or less just a spite thing. And then Reese got eliminated. And then that kind of left you alone for a second. But because Reese was working with Alexander, you know how he was kind of a dick at first. Like, you guys kind of become like frenemies. In the fact that like he still views you as competition, but he also views you as like the most likable person there. And he actually does like you as a person after a while. You guys start getting along. And you guys work together to get Zayd out. And then Farley goes Ember. And then it comes down to one last competition that Sasha ends up making Alexander lose. Otherwise, it would have been you bros going at it at the finale. But Alexander kind of gives you the support, like, I know you can win. You know, if there's one person other than me that I want to win, it's you. And it's you and Sasha at the finale. And guess what? You win.
Okay.
And also, like, Sasha isn't like a full bad guy at the end. She does end up making like a fully developed character to where she like spins around. She makes up with Levy. She apologizes to PT. You know, she kind of fixes things with a lot of people that she wronged.
That's kind of good.
Well, it's kind of like I try to make a little bit of emotion in the finale too, like in the finals with the first season I'm doing, the original cast. It comes down to there's a 3-way finale rather than a 2-way one like in your season, and it's one of well, actually it's 2 of the biggest heels, or I guess bad guys, this isn't wrestling, the biggest bad guys in the season. Ken is, you know, very manipulative, very, you know, like, I'm willing to betray whoever I can to get the victory. But the reason he's trying to get money is he lives on the streets. He, you know, a lot of people know when he first comes that he's a street performer, and you know, it's kind of clear that he's comfortable sleeping just about anywhere, but it's revealed that that's because he's living out on the street. He doesn't have anywhere to go, and that's why he wants to win so bad.
Right.
Brandy is the other bad guy that's on the finale. And rather than being manipulative, she's just harsh. She's very aggressive, very like willing to hurt people in order to get the victory. Her reason for winning, though, originally was her grandpa had cancer and he needed the treatment. and she was hoping that she could raise the money in time by winning the show to save him. Midway through the season, she gets a letter explaining that he had passed away while she was participating. And so after that, she starts getting the money for it to give him an extravagant funeral.
Okay.
And that's why she wants to win. And then you've got Susie, who's like the good guy character who does end up winning, and she is silent, 100% silent through the entire season.
Does she ever end up talking?
At the very end, because the reason that Ken and Brandy end up losing is because very early on in the competition, they start focusing on fighting each other rather than actually like winning, because they've got so much pent-up dislike for each other at this point. It spirals into like a physical altercation as they're trying to complete the challenge, and it's a two-part challenge. In part one, somebody gets cut off, and Ken thinks he wins because they have to carry these heavy backpacks on their backs in order to they got to race across the camp in order to win. Well, Ken ended up throwing his backpack at Brandy and knocking her down, and he thought when he crossed the finish line that he won, but he didn't because he left his backpack behind when Brandy crossed with hers after, so Ken got booted simply because he was being a cockknocker. And then Brandy, even though she's aggressive a lot of the times, she's never really been able to be aggressive to like smaller people.
Okay.
She, like, characters like August, who's really small, or Susie, she can't bring herself to hurt them because it's the way she views it. It's bullying when it's a small person, it's teasing when it's a big person. And so she more or less couldn't bring herself to be at 100% to beat Susie in the finale. And it showed, Brandy's heart.
Okay.
So there was emotion there, and what really kind of makes it emotional is that Susie uses the prize money to help both Brandy and Ken, even though they were, kind of terrible people throughout the whole season. She realized why they were. And she won $5 million, so I mean, she could afford to throw a little bit out.
Okay.
Man,
We're
I
just talking
kind
right now.
I kind of hope that they come out with the new Adventure Camp episode soon.
If I switch to the other system. Sorry, Mom wants to do something. Well, Mom and them want to watch TV. I'll message you on message.
Are you tuning out of the stream then?
Probably because I won't be able to hear it.
Alright. Well,
I'll
actually,
still try and chime in.
well, I was gonna say you don't need to hear it, but you kinda need to hear me, but.
Alright. Well, I'll attempt to join in. If I can't, I'll let you know.
Alright.
I'll talk to you later, bro.
Talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace. Ah, that's her quote. Please don't pull my swimsuit strings.
This is bad.
No.
Isn't your master still alive?
No. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Oh.
Of course.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. Well. Ooh.
That's totally it.
Jeez.
Well, aww. Peeking.
I still love Ibuki. Peeking. Peeking.
Even so.
No problemo.
Hey,
Then I ask again, why us? Call it intuition.
Aww.
If that's your way of being considerate, you fucked up. Ah, man, I love that kid.
Hey, hey! Meow.
Meow.
I'll do my best.
2,500 icebreakers for situations just like this. You know, that's a screenshot right there. That's a screenshot.
You!
Now I'm hella grateful. Ooh. You know what? I've got an idea for another stream. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna stop this one, and I'm gonna start it up another one, and we're going to do, and it's gonna take me a minute to build the list, but it is gonna be tonight, and it is gonna be soon. But we are gonna do a list, because for anyone who doesn't know, today is International Women's Day. Which I don't know, like, who really came up with that or whatever. I heard it on the radio. I don't even know if it's, like, true. But in spirit of, you know, hearing it, I am probably going to do a list, and it's probably not something a woman would approve of. But it's Women's Day, and it's the only thing I can think of. We're gonna do a waifu ranking list of Danganronpa girls. So we'll be back. I was about to give you details, but I'll give you them on the actual video. I'm A-Bomb Clark. Hasta la pasta. See you later. Have a great night, and I am signing off. You know, before I actually do sign off, and I will redo my outro, because I just have to make a comment about this. Every time when I say, you know, I'm signing off, I do a salute, and yet there's no camera. So I don't know why I salute, because there's nobody, like, actually seeing it. But again, I'm A-Bomb Clark. Hasta la pasta. See you later. Have a great night. And I salute you.